Welcome to The Naomi Show. Hello, Naomi Robson here and welcome to the program. Now, there's a saying that men are like mascara, they run at the first sign of emotion. Sure, it is a generalisation, but let's face it, there are enough women out there who can relate to the saying. So how can a girl express emotion to her man without him running for the hills? Well, psychologist Eve Ash has some answers. Well, Eve, this is a common dilemma, isn't it? So how can women express their emotions without men running for the hills?
Well, if they're disappointed or upset about something in the relationship and they want to talk about it, they need to find the right time and the right place. There's two great times to choose to talk to a guy. One is in a neutral setting, like going out for dinner. So you're in a public place and it's so you can't have huge emotions and not one of you is distracted by having to make the meal, and you're just both there on equal footing. One's not rushing away to do something, so that's a great opportunity. The other one is in bed together.
Now, is that before or after sex?
Well, it could be after.
Yeah.
It could be...
Maybe that's a good time.
I mean, it could be that the issue is that they're not having sex.
Well, you might be waiting a while.
And it also might be that that the woman has to actually go to bed at the same time as a guy, because one of the things that happens as a relationship starts to fragment and become problematic is the two people usually start going to bed at different times.
Yes. Look, I think it is a difficult one for women to tackle, isn't it? And the timing is also a difficult one. Oftentimes, now we know that there's those 4 words that you never say to men, which is, we need to talk.
No.
But if you do have a problem, and I know friends of mine who've had issues with their partners, they may have found that over a period of time the partner's been very dismissive of them or just plain rude. They want to communicate that, but they never find the right time. It goes on for a really long time and then finally it ends up in firecrackers, obviously.
Yeah, because there's a problem. When you let it go, your tolerance level keeps moving, and so you accept more and more of dismissive behaviour, for example. So it's very important to try and nip it in the bud where it's happening early. And one of the things that's important to do because you're really giving feedback to that partner of yours, is to really focus on what's good in the relationship and not just immediately go in for what's bad, and to just say, look, I've been really enjoying the meals you've been making. It's been great. The holiday we had was fantastic. There has to be some good things that you can look at. One of the things that I think we've changed over the last few months, or has been different over the last few months, is XYZ. And it's important to use language that is not blaming language. And is not defensive language and is not argumentative language, because that immediately puts the other person...
When you say not defensive language, what do you mean by that?
I mean language which, immediately puts me into a victim mode, like it's, I really hate the way you've been acting dismissive of me.
So another way to put that would be...
there are times when there are a couple of things that you've said, and I'm not sure whether I'm sensitive, but I've been getting hurt. And I just want to discuss that because I want to give you the examples. It's when you called me lard the other day.
Oh, good grief. Please, goodness, nobody does that. But yeah, some men can be a little insensitive.
So it's finding the language and being very calm, because they say that your tone of voice and your body language carries most of the impact when we communicate with somebody.
And clearly when you've got to the point where you're over it, you're right up, the pitch is up, you're screeching. And
that's right.
Yeah.
And so you want to really remain calm and make it a little bit fun, because you really do want to change. And I think if you make it too serious and too heavy, it becomes problematic and it puts them on the defensive. So
to recap, you want to take a breath and be as calm as you can possibly be. Maybe use other people or other situations as examples of bringing up the subject. Yeah, finding a reference point. So it could be talking about a film that you've seen where there's been a similar problem, a book that you've read, or friends that you know. So that would be definitely one, and choosing the right time and place. Okay, thanks for that, Eve. Thank you. And we'll see you next time. Your love life, let's talk about it at naomishow.com.